Welcome to BIORATNA. Dear students, I am Chandana Sengupta and today we are going to discuss the class Aves. This class Aves, popularly called as the birds. They belong to the phylum Chordata. Chordata means out of all the organisms which are included under animal kingdom, only that group of animals which have a dorsal tubular notochord at least at some stage of their life. Then their subphylum is vertebrata. Vertebrata are those chordates in which the notochord has been replaced by vertebral column. These Aves comes under the division gnathostomata. What are gnathostomata? These gnathostomata, they are those vertebrates in which the jaw is present. Then they are included under gnathostomata. Then the superclass is tetrapoda. Tetrapoda, they are those gnathostomes in which two pair, tetra means 4, that is 2 pair of limbs are present. Then we come to the class Aves. What are these Aves? What are their characters? They have evolved from the reptiles. Is there any organism, any fossil which is connecting link between these Aves and the reptiles? What are the different characteristics of these birds which make them so well adapted for their aerial mode of life? All these questions we will answer in this topic from your class 11 chapter Animal Kingdom. Let us see. First, you should know that these Aves, they evolved from reptiles. There is one connecting link between the Aves and the reptiles, or rather I should say reptiles and the Aves. Do you know its name? It is Archaeopteryx. Connecting link means that organism which is having characteristics of both the classes. It is having characters of reptiles as well as birds, showing that the birds, they have evolved from the reptiles, and it was Huxley who said that Aves are glorified reptiles. Now the characteristics, features of these Aves. The characteristic feature which first comes to our mind is that their body is covered with feathers. Their body is covered with feathers. Let us see the diagram of a bird which is showing its different characteristics. It has one beak. There is one beak. This beak is extension of the jaw. The beak, it helps the organism for many purposes. Generally, you know that it is for feeding. It takes the grains, picks up the grains with the help of beak. But the beak they use for fighting also, for cleaning their body, then to feed their children. Of course, feeding is the very important feature for the beak, its function. Then this is the head. They have a neck and the body is covered with feathers. The forelimb, it is modified into wings. So there is one pair of wings. One pair of forelimbs modified into one pair of wings. So these are modified into wings, the forelimbs. So the forelimbs, they are modified into wings. What about the hind limb? Let us draw the tail also. This is the tail. On tail also the tail feathers are present. Feathers are present. Scales are restricted only on hind limb. Scales are present in case of reptiles. In birds, those reminiscent of their ancestor is present, but not all over body. It is nowhere else. It is present only on these hind limbs, and this hind limb, it has digits. It has 4 digits, or that 4 digits, they are grouped. How they are grouped? 3 plus 1 means this is how they are arranged. So these are the 3 digits, and this is the single digit. Here the 4th digit. See the arrangement? So that here it can very well get hold of a branch and sit nicely over it. Fine. Then the scales which we talked about, they are present on the hind limb. Hind limb पे scales होते हैं. So these are the scales. Scales are present on the hind limb. This is hind limb. And the hind limb has 3 digits. Hind limb has 3 digits. What about oil glands? All over body they do not have any oil gland, and the oil gland is present only at the base of the tail. This is present only at the base of the tail. So the oil gland, the only oil gland that is present at the base of tail. These morphological features you can see from outside. The beak, the head with its eyes, then the 2 wings which are modified forelimbs, then a tail attached to the body, the hind limbs with its three digits. Now let us move to their different types of systems. In their digestive system, we find 2 extra bags. Here we find 2 extra bags are there. What are they? One is crop and other is gizzard. If this is the esophagus, then it's the esophagus, it widens and it forms this crop. This crop, it is a temporary storage organ. It is a temporary food storage organ before it is digested. And then you will find this, this is the gizzard. This gizzard, it helps in grinding of the food. It also contains the aves. Along with the grains, they also take pebbles. So that in this gizzard is muscular, and by the action of inside the gizzard, there are present 6 chitinous plates. 6 chitinous plates are there. On these chitinous plates, teeth-like structures are also present. Now when food comes into the gizzard, then inside the gizzard, these 6 chitinous plates and the teeth-like structures over there, and the pebbles also which it has taken along with its food, it all grinds the food into a paste. So this gizzard, it has 6 chitinous plates. 6 chitinous plates, 6. Remember the number 6. It has 6 chitinous plates with teeth-like structures. It has teeth-like structures. And the function of gizzard is help to grind the food. It helps in grinding the food. What is the function of crop? It is the temporary storage organ. Temporary storage organ before it is digested. Before digestion, it is stored in crop. Next, let us see the respiratory system. There is something very peculiar about their respiratory system. Peculiar, or I should say very interesting about the respiratory system. See, in our case, our lungs, they are taking in inhalation the air they are taking in, and then they are exhaling the deoxygenated air. They are taking in the oxygenated air, then they are exhaling the deoxygenated air. In, out, this is continuously going on. But in case of birds, there is something peculiar. They have 9 air sacs, not 9 pairs. They have 9 air sacs. What is the function of these air sacs? When the lungs, it is when the bird is inhaling. Then the air, it goes into the air sacs and it goes into the lungs. Air आया, air sacs भी भर गई, उसका lungs भी भर गया. Now the exchange of gases takes place in the lungs, and then the lungs, it is exhaling the air. When it is exhaling the air, then the air present in the air sacs, the oxygenated air present in the air sacs, it moves into the lungs. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जब बर्ड्स के लंग्स इनहेल करते हैं तब भी वो ऑक्सीजन लेते हैं, और जब एक्सहेल करते हैं तब भी वो ऑक्सीजन लेते हैं. तब भी वो अपना CO2 रिच एयर को बाहर छोड़ रहे होते हैं, लेकिन उनमें एयर सैक से होते हुए ऑक्सीजनेटेड एयर एंटर कर रहा होता है. This type of respiration is called double respiration. This is called double respiration. Double respiration. Thus, these air sacs, they are a very important tool for their flight mode of life. What about their endoskeleton? Their endoskeleton, they have fully ossified bones. Ossified, rigid. They have fully ossified bones, and one property of the bones which helps them in their aerial mode of life, that is, they have pneumatic bones. Pneumatic bones means what? The long bones are hollow. जितने long bones होते हैं ना बच्चों, they are hollow and they are filled with air. This makes the body of the birds lightweight. So the bones are hollow. जैसे आप, if this is the bone, then the inside is hollow. This part is hollow and it is filled with air. Now come to the circulatory system. The heart is 4-chambered. In case of their ancestors, in reptiles, you have seen that heart is 3-chambered. But they have already started the work of dividing the ventricle into 2. But the septa remains incomplete. पूरी तरह से ventricle divide नहीं हो पा रहा है in case of reptiles. That's why there is still mixing of blood. But here, in case of birds, the septa has been completed. So there is no mixing of blood, and the pure blood moves from left side and the impure blood, it moves from the right side. So this heart is 4-chambered, 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Heart is 4-chambered. There is no mixing of blood, and these are warm-blooded. That is homoeothermic animals. They are warm-blooded organisms because there is no mixing of pure and impure blood. The body is getting oxygen-rich blood, so they can produce lot of ATP. See their reproduction. These birds, they are unisexual. Unisexual तो है, और एक प्रॉपर्टी ये है कि जब एक कपल बन जाता है तो वो लाइफ लॉन्ग रहता है. दे आर मोनोगैमस. दे आर यूनिसेक्सुअल एंड दे आर मोनोगैमस. दे आर मोनोगैमस. Fertilization is internal. This fertilization, it is internal, but after the fertilization, the fertilized egg, it is covered with a protective shell, and then they lay eggs. These shelled eggs. They lay the shelled eggs. So as they are laying eggs, they are not giving birth to the young ones. So what is this type of condition called? Oviparous or viviparous? This is called oviparous. Oviparous. Students, please go on writing in the comment box if every term is getting clear to you or not. And then the development. Development is direct. Means the young ones, they resemble their adults. This is all the characters of Aves, the ossified bones, the pneumatic bones, heart having 4 chambers. They are warm-blooded, they are unisexual, fertilization is internal, and they are oviparous, development is direct. The various examples of Aves are, you have to remember their scientific names also. First, I am writing down the common names. The common crow, then the pigeon, then the parrot, the beautiful peacock, not so beautiful vulture, then the flightless bird, that is ostrich, then penguin. Penguin is also a bird. Now let us note down their scientific names. Crow is corvus. Crow is corvus. Pigeon is columba. Parrot is sitaculla. Peacock is pavo. Vulture is neophron. Vulture is neophron. Ostrich is struthio. It is struthio. Penguin is actinodites. Fine. Crow is corvus, pigeon is columba, parrot is sitaculla, peacock is pavo. Vulture is neophron, starting with N and ending with N. Because often the mistake which students make is they make it neophris. To check that mistake, remember, starts with N and ends with N. Then ostrich is struthio and penguin is actinodites. This was all about the class Aves. Hope you have understood all the points well. Please do find the link for the notes and DPP in the description box. In the next session, we will discuss the last topic of animal kingdom, that is class Mammalia. Please do find the videos every Monday and Wednesday. Hopefully you have liked the video. Then please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get all latest updates.